You are listening to Geek U on Radio Free Radford with Lucas Code, where we talk about all things geek related. Hello everybody, it is the first day of November, meaning that it is the first day after Halloween. So I hope everybody is getting better after their Halloween hangover, and if you are, let's hear some stuff that's happened over the weekend. So first off, I want to start with Zachary Levi has been cast as Shazam. Now, for those who are not familiar, Zachary Levi played the lead character in the TV series Chuck. And some other stuff that he's been part of, he has been part of the 4 movies. He played Fangirl, and he also voiced the part of Flynn Rider in the Tangle movie. So my thoughts on this casting: I love this casting. See, the thing about Shazam is that he's supposed to be this little kid, but when he says the word Shazam, he turns into an adult superhero. And if you want somebody who could pull off a child in a man's body, Zachary Levi is... You can't go wrong with Zachary Levi in this case. Zachary Levi, he's really talented. I think he has the boyish charm to pull off Shazam. I think that he has the same kind of likability that Chris Pratt has, who, by the way, is my favorite person alive. But yeah, anyways, back to Zachary Levi as Shazam. I really like this casting. Now, the thing that people are going to worry about is he's really skinny, like really, really skinny. So he's gonna have to go on that Hollywood action star diet. He's gonna have to start hitting the gym, working on his quads. Yeah, I mean, so the character of Black Adam, who is Shazam's arch nemesis, he is going to be played by Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, sometime down the road. And The Rock is huge, so you need somebody who can believably take on The Rock. And Zachary Levi, he's 6'3". If he starts to hit the gym and gain those muscles, yeah, I could totally see him going toe-to-toe with Dwayne Johnson in his wrestler body. And plus, the thing that I love about this casting is that, while, yeah, he's a popular actor, he's not a name that everybody knows. You don't know what you're gonna get with Zachary Levi as Shazam. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this casting. I love the sense of humor that the director has. And, yeah, that's what the movie Shazam needs to be. It needs to be humorous. And it needs to be out of this world. Because this is a kid who turns into a superhero. That is the ultimate child fantasy right there. And they're going to make a movie about it. Shazam, or as he was called earlier, Captain Marvel, but due to rights, they're not going to call him that. They're going to call him Shazam, which they started calling him that in the New 52 DC Comics did. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. This is the first casting decision that DC has done where I'm like, yes, that is great casting right there. But yeah, speaking of DC, a Deathstroke movie is in development. Now, the thing about that is Deathstroke was originally going to be the main villain in Ben Affleck's Batman movie, but when Ben Affleck decided that he didn't want to do the directing for the Batman movie, they signed Matt Reeves on to be the director, who directed the amazing Planet of the Apes trilogy. Like, it is absolutely perfect, and I think he's going to be a great director for Batman. But when he signed on, one of the conditions was he wanted to start from scratch. So one of the things that they did was, more likely than not, Deathstroke's not going to be in that movie. Which, yeah, okay. I mean, I love the character of Deathstroke, and they signed the actor, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. I am terrible with pronunciations, but Joe Manganiello was supposed to play Deathstroke in the Batman movie that Ben Affleck was going to do. But obviously, since Matt Reeves didn't want to do Deathstroke in the movie, Joe Manganiello is not going to be Deathstroke in that movie. So they are going to give the character his own film, which, yeah, I think that could be pretty cool. Now, the key word is in development. That does not make anything official. There have been several movies that have been in development but never seen the light of day. So, yeah, I'm curious to what they do with this. If you've seen the show Arrow, you know who Slade Wilson is. Slade Wilson is the alter ego of Deathstroke. And, yeah, he was just awesome in that series. He has one of the coolest designs of comics. And with the success of the Deadpool movie, which Deadpool is actually a parody of Deathstroke. Even Deadpool's name was even Wade Wilson, which was a spoof on Slade Wilson. But yeah, they can make this movie rated R, which I say go for it. You want to do your own rated R movie? Deathstroke is a great character to do that with. And this could open the road for more rated R movies for DC. Like, this one character that I really want, Lobo, he would be the perfect combination of Deadpool meets Guardians of the Galaxy. So if you do this Deathstroke movie and it's successful, who's to say you can't do a more obscure character like Lobo? So, anyways, our next topic. Yesterday, Sony released the new trailer to the new Spider-Man video game that they are making. It is going to be exclusive to the PS4 because Sony owns those Spider-Man rights. But, yeah, it seems to have Spider-Man's personality down. He's making jokes. He's going to be an older Spider-Man. He's apparently been Spider-Man for 8 years in this universe that they're doing. He's already... it looks like he's already married to Mary Jane. I'm not sure. Maybe they're just dating. But yeah, it seems like Spider-Man's older in this incarnation. He doesn't look like a high school student. So, but yeah, the costume looks a lot different than what we're used to, but I think it looks pretty cool. The gameplay looks like the Spider-Man equivalent to Batman's Arkham series, which is easily the best superhero video games you'll ever play. Specifically Arkham City, which is just an absolute masterpiece. Like, I want to feel like I'm Spider-Man when I'm playing this game, the same way that I felt like I was Batman when playing the Arkham games. Like when they showed that gameplay footage at E23 where he was swinging around fighting all these bad guys, and his spider sense would make him aware of the attacks that he couldn't see. It looked so amazing, and then I even showed my mom the video game footage one point, and she's like, "So wait, they're making another live action movie?" And I'm like, "No, Mom, this is a video game." And she's like, "Wow, it looks so realistic." And I'm like, "Yeah, but in the trailer, it looks like you're gonna fight the Shocker. It says that Norman Osborn is president, or he's running for mayor, I think. It was some sort of political office. I think it was president. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to rewatch the trailer. The character Mr. Negative is in it, and he is a character who is responsible for one of the villains, Anti-Venom. So I wonder if they're gonna go with that, or he's in charge of a charity or something in this game. So yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And the character of Miles Morales, who in the comics eventually, or in the Ultimate Universe, took the mantle of Spider-Man after Peter Parker was killed by the Green Goblin. He said that Peter is going to help them. I don't remember where they were. I'm pretty sure it was the Daily Bugle. But yeah, so maybe Miles is doing an internship with that. But yeah, I was blown away by this trailer. I was blown away by the gameplay. I am super excited for the Spider-Man video game. I hope it is just as good as the Dark Knight video games, or the Arkham video games, not the Dark Knight video games. The Dark Knight movies, but I'm talking about the Arkham video games. But yeah, I'm super excited for this Spider-Man video game. It's going to be exclusive to PS4, like I said at the beginning of this topic. And yeah, just really excited for it. I'm going to see if I have enough money to buy it, because video games are like a little bit out of my price range. I mean, I make more than $60, but at the moment I'm gonna have to see. But if you have the money, you should go buy this game when it comes out. So our next topic, Henry Cavill, who plays Superman in the DC Extended Universe movies, he was interviewed, and he did not have some nice things to say about the DC Extended Universe line of movies. Which, yeah, that's that's gonna be awkward, hearing, "Hey, Henry, we heard your comments, what was that about?" And he's like, "Just speak it from the heart." But when interviewed, Henry Cavill said, "I'm gonna try to do this in a British accent like Cavill has, but if it doesn't go well, I'm gonna stop. But even if Marvel didn't exist, we'd struggle. There was a style they were going for, an attempt to be different and look at things from a slightly different perspective." I'm gonna stop there. I am terrible with accents. But which hasn't necessarily worked. Yes, it has made money, but it has not been a critical success. It hasn't given everyone that sensation which superheroes should give the viewer. Yeah, I agree with him on that. I know there are a lot of people who are like, well, if Marvel didn't give everybody this idea of how superheroes are supposed to be, DC would be doing better. No, their movies would have been bad even without DC or even without Marvel. So yeah, the tone is all over the place. Uh, they they don't know. It's clear by after watching Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad that they didn't know what they're doing. But after that, he says, "I think it is a wonderful time for the female hero. It is the perfect setting in social politics right now. We need it. We want that perspective. And Wonder Woman has struck at the ideal time and has become a phenomenal success, which is fantastic. Any success within the superhero universe, especially within the DC universe, is wonderful because I want to keep telling the Superman story. Selfishly, that works for me." So yeah, he's like, yeah, Wonder Woman was the first critical success with this line of movies. And Wonder Woman was a really good movie. It had this optimistic tone that showed why we love the DC characters. They're heroic and they inspire us. And Superman, or Henry Cavill even said, yeah, I want to keep being Superman, especially since that gives me a paycheck, which, yeah, I want these movies to continue to be good so he doesn't end up like Nick Cage, who keeps doing these direct to DVD movies just so he can earn a paycheck. Even Ryan Reynolds said that after Green Lantern, people didn't want to hire him because that movie bombed, and nobody wanted to hire him because that movie bombed. And when Deadpool was a success, he can keep doing those Deadpool movies because he has a job with that. And that's kind of like what Henry Cavill is saying here. And lastly, he says, "I feel like now the right mistakes have been made and they haven't been pandered to, and we can start telling the stories in a way they need to be told. It is even better to come back from a mistake or stylistic error into the correct vein because it will make it seem that much stronger." Wonder Woman was the first step in the right direction. Yes, I completely agree with that. And yeah, those mistakes that they made with the Batman vs Superman and everything, yeah, they got the mistakes out of the way. And those are simple mistakes that they can correct with the characters and the tone. Everything that a lot of people seem to have a problem with the DC movies, those can easily be corrected. And they saw that with Wonder Woman, and that was such a good movie and so successful. And yeah, with Justice League, I see that too. With all the characters in that movie seem really fun. The Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg had a few good lines, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this movie, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how DC does down the road. And plus, mad respect to Henry Cavill. I always liked him. He would make the perfect Superman if they would just let him be Superman, because you can see it every time he's interviewed. He's always smiling. He has a great personality and the charisma to pull off the Boy Scout Superman, which they've been very reluctant to show. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what else he does as Superman. I want to see a sequel to Man of Steel, which hasn't happened yet. Maybe they're waiting after Justice League to give him another movie. I know people are going to say that Batman vs. Superman is a sequel to Man of Steel, which, yes, it is, but it's not a Superman movie. And I think we really need another Superman movie, and I think Henry Cavill is great, or can be great as Superman. And I think he'll be great as Superman in this movie once he is Superman. But anyways, Justice League, yeah, that was a movie that had a lot of reshoots. And speaking of that, Ron Howard is going to reshoot most of Solo, a Star Wars story. At this point, I really don't care about the Han Solo movie. I was excited when it was first announced because Han Solo is my favorite Star Wars character. He has the best lines, and he is the coolest. And he shot first despite what George Lucas tried to do with the special editions. He shot Greedo first. If anybody tries to tell you differently, they are wrong. Hashtag Han shot first. But anyways, originally the Han Solo movie had Phil Lord and Chris Miller to direct the movie. And if you don't know who they are, you've probably heard their work, the Jump Street movies, which are absolutely hysterical, and the Lego movie, which, again, hysterical. A movie that could have been in just an easy cash grab is one of the most endearing movies I've seen in a long time. And Disney fired them because they had creative differences. They said that they wanted more of a Western type of vibe, but Chris Miller and Phil Lord, they wanted to do more of a comedy. And Disney should have realized that the minute they signed them, that they should have known what they were getting themselves into. So yeah, I was really disappointed to hear that they wouldn't be on board, but Ron Howard's a really good director. But yeah, part of me is worried about this, but reshoots aren't anything to worry about because they did the same thing with Rogue One. That movie famously had a bunch of reshoots. They cut out a whole bunch of scenes that were in the trailers, and the movie was great. It was one of my top 3 favorite movies of last year in 2016. So yeah, a couple of reshoots, nothing to worry about, but this movie has had it's had a lot of issues. First off, the whole, do we even need a Han Solo movie? Because the thing is, with a character like Han Solo, the less you know, a lot of people say it, the less you know about Han Solo, the cooler he is. So revealing stuff about his past might take away the mystery. So, but anyways, yeah, one thing I've figured out in my lifetime, if you cast Donald Glover in something, I'm going to get on board with the movie, and they cast Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian, so that got me on the board. And the actor they hired as Han Solo, I forget his name, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it or try to say it. He's a really good actor from what I've seen. But yeah, I don't know about this movie. I will wait and see the trailer, and I'll wait to hear what the critics and everything say. I don't want to waste my money on a ticket and then end up hating the movie. So anyways, speaking of things that I hate, LeBron James, I promise I'm not going to make this a series. I might not do this every week. I know I said that the last time and the time before that, but I might probably mean it this time. But yeah, LeBron James thinks that terrorizing kids is funny. Yes, at his Halloween party for the Cleveland Cavaliers, he dressed up as Pennywise the Clown from the movie It, which, by the way, is a great movie, but we're not here to focus on how great of a movie that was. We're here to focus on LeBron's terrible sense of humor. Now, LeBron is, and he likes to reiterate this all the time, he's a dad. He has 2 sons and a daughter. Yet, he dresses up as Pennywise the Clown, who, in the movie, murdered children and terrorized them. Now, I don't get what LeBron's going for. Maybe he thinks that terrorizing and eating children is hysterical and it's okay. But LeBron, most of America disagrees with your stance, you sicko. But why doesn't this surprise me? Well, a couple of years ago, in fact, I think it may have been last Halloween, LeBron dressed as O.J. Simpson. You heard that, folks. LeBron James thinks that murdering innocent people is funny. Well, let me tell you this, LeBron. I do not find that funny. He dressed up as O.J. Simpson. That is unforgivable, LeBron. You should feel ashamed of yourself. And I know you're listening to this podcast on a college campus. But, LeBron, I want to tell you something. That is not funny. Terrorizing children is not funny. The lives of 2 innocent people being taken, that is not funny. I'm going to leave it there, folks. You make your decision. And if you're like me and disagree with this terrible stance that LeBron has taken, thank you for joining my side. But, anyways, that's all the time that we have for today, folks. This has been Geek U on Radio Free Radford with Lucas Code. Peace out.